understand, they talk to me.
Hello and welcome to the AEW Wrestling Talk Show with Lisa Lockdowns and
Smith bringing you our reactions to AEW Double or Nothing. It sounds like a James Bond movie, but that's beside
AEW Double or Nothing took place this past Sunday on for those in the States Memorial Day weekend from the T-Mobile Arena on the Strip in Las Vages, Nevada.
14,000 people.
Now, before we get into this, we should probably note that in between our pre-show and the actual event, we did have 2 more matches added to the card.
Yes.
But now we will jump into what first we do know happened, and that started with the buy-in match.
As Hookhausen took on Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling.
And this was just essentially a 5-minute warm-up match to get the crowd in the mood. Which ended with Hook performing a suplex onto Mark Sterling, only to tag in Danhausen to get the pinfall victory.
Now we move on to the main
card. As were 2 matches on the main card. The first one opened up and had a stipulation attached to it.
Yes, and at first, because of rumours earlier in the day, we didn't know if this match was going to take place or
not. As Wardlow took on The Miz 2.0, known as MJF.
Now, MJF did eventually show up on the entranceway wearing some robes.
And the stipulation here was that if Wardlow would win, then he would be released from his contract with MJF. And
however, if MJF won this match, then Wardlow would be banned from signing with AEW.
It's safe to say that things did not go particularly well for MJF.
Oh no, it didn't, no. It literally was like a squash.
At the start of the match, in a cowardly move, MJF would duck out of the ring and be told and try to make Wardlow back up. Then he would put on the diamond ring, but the referee would see it and take it away.
In a very good move.
Then MJF tried to shake hands with Wardlow. Big mistake.
Definitely big mistake.
Then Wardlow would perform essentially not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, 10 back-to-back powerbombs onto MJF to win the match and get out of MJF's contract. Now, due to some reports that had come out during the week and the build-up to the eventual Double or Nothing, that may explain why this was booked in a squash manner.
Yes.
Because Wardlow is no Goldberg.
No, he's not.
Next, we go on to the multiple tag team matches we have on this card.
First up, the tag team match number 1, as the Hardys of Matt Jeff Hardy took on the Young Bucks.
This was what I would call a relatively dream entertaining 19-minute match.
Yes, I would say that.
So we had, during this, we had Nick Jackson performing a facebuster onto Jeff. A springboard into a facebuster, I should say. Then Matt Jackson decided to do something you don't really do in wrestling by giving Jeff a twist of fate.
Was.
Jeff would later land a swanton bomb onto Matt Jackson through the steel steps.
Ouch.
And back in the ring, Matt Hardy performed a twist of fate onto Nick for a near fall, before performing a second twist of fate and tagging in Jeff for the swanton bomb in order for the Hardys to pick up the victory. However, apparently Jeff did work this match with some kind of band up foot,
Yeah, some kind of foot injury.
which has pulled him out of a 10-man tag team match. Supposed to take place on tonight's, at the time of its recording, episode of Dynamite.
Now we move on to our first of many championship matches. We had a match for the TBS Championship. Jade Cargill defended the championship against Anna Jay of the Dark Order.
Well, I think, in a way, the biggest talking point of this is what happened after the match, but we'll get to that in a moment.
So the match gets underway with the usual offense being delivered by Jade Cargill.
Despite having a bit of a beatdown earlier, Max Sterling decides to show up and with a clutch and arguing with the referee.
And then, as that argument was going on, another manager of Jade Cargill's
Wait a second. Anna Jay would then perform a leg sweep onto Cargill with the clutch for a near fall. Then John Silver would come out and perform a brainbuster onto Sterling.
On the outside.
This is literally a case of interruptions with this match. Then we would have a debut.
Yes.
When a former manager from a company that must not be named.
Yeah, made his debut.
Exactly halfway, who just stood on the inside, probably causing a slight distraction on Anna Jay, allowing Jade Cargill to retain the TBS championship. Then it looked like there may be somewhat of a beatdown after the match, because following the match, Keela Hogan and Red Velvet came down to essentially hold up Jay for Cargill to continue the beating.
When Chris Statlander comes down and makes the save.
Yes, and then the artist / woman formerly known as Ember Moon. I said formerly known as. Now going under the old name of Athena would come come down to make to basically send off Cargo's little Goonies. So I think we've established who Jade Cargo's next challenger is probably going to be.
Yes.
Next, we go on to a 6-man tag team match.
The House of Black of Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews and Brody King took on the Death Triangle, Pac, Pentaos Hero, and Ray Phoenix.
And 6-man tag team matches are always a pain to call / watch.
Oh yes, they are. They are very much pain.
Yes.
Where do we begin with this?
We begin with Penta landing the Canadian Destroyer onto Matthews on the apron. Then Neville, Pac, landing the 450 splash onto Aleister Black, Malachi Black. Then, of course, we had a classic referee distraction from Alex Sarpenez. And then Pac would take advantage of this and hit Pac with the low blow.
Literal low blow, I might add.
And then Pac would go up for the Black Arrow.
Only for the lights to go out.
And when we lights came back on, Julia Hart was standing in the lane, and in a Tajiri and Asuka kind of style, blew mist into the face of Pac. Then Black would hit Black Mass onto Pac for the win.
Thus turning Julia Hart heel and aligning herself with the House of Black.
Now, the next two matches were the finals of the Owen Hart Foundation Cup tournament.
We will start off with the men's one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one thing I found was a interesting touch here, I believe it happened, was that Adam Cole came out in the colours of the Hart family.
We thought it was a nice touch.
So this was Adam Cole versus Samoa Joe.
In the Owen Hart Tournament Cup Finals for the men.
But these two, we all know, are very good wrestlers.
They both are.
A case could have been made for either one to win. But when you look at what they did with the women's one, I think this will make sense to some people.
Yes.
Because, however, after several back and forth stuff, Bobby Fish decided to show up.
And get involved in the match.
Typical Undisputed Era. Oh, whatever they call themselves these days. And distracting Samoa Joe long enough for Adam Cole to take advantage and perform the boom to
1, 2, 3.
and take the victory. Now we did say when we came to the women's one on the pre-show, but we did not know who was going to be in the final.
Well, now we do. It's Ruby Soho.
Dr. Britt Baker versus Ruby Riott. Soho.
Ruby Soho. So, as we
Yes.
mentioned in the men's,
Yes, here we had again a bit of is it safe to say underhanded actions trying to take place?
yes.
No. Soho, again, probably down to the Hart family, applied the sharpshooter onto Baker.
Who herself was also wearing gear inspired by the Owen Hart family.
But in the end of the match, Soho went to the ropes and put herself on the shoulders of Britt Baker, performing a victory roll for a near fall. However, Baker managed to reverse it to get the victory and win the female or women's Owen Hart Cup. And some people may disagree with who won this.
Yes.
However, whilst you may question that the overall Hart family's involvement in this, one thing that Owen Hart was all about, even though this was before our time really, was his family.
Yes.
So having a real life husband and wife win the men's and women's, I don't mind.
Neither do I, to be honest.
Next, we go on to yet another 6-person mixed tag team match.
And this match also had.
Can I just point out that a certain company appears to have stolen this match idea for this week's pay-per-view.
Okay, what is it?
6-person mixed tag team match.
Yes. American's top team of Ethan Page, TNT Champion Scott Guy, and making her in-ring debut for AEW, Paige Van Zandt, teamed up to take on Frankie Kazarian, Sammy Guevara, and Ty Conti, who was coming out dressed as Maleficent.
There was a stipulation in this match that if the American top team won, then neither Kazarian or Guevara could challenge for the TNT Championship as long as Scorpio Sky is the champion.
Unfortunately, that was the stipulation of the match. Now, again, as 6-person tag matches go, paid to commentate.
Yes, here we had matches where Dante performed the Mukinova driver onto Conti for a near fall.
Yeah.
However, in the end, as Sammy Guevara attempted a super kick onto Kazarian
ducked and Guevara kicked Ty Conti square in the
Kazarian would then toss Guevara ringside, allowing Page to perform the roundhouse kick on Kazarian, with Guy following it up with a TKO on the latter for the 1-2-3. And of course, now that the American Top Team won, neither Kazarian or Guevara are allowed to challenge for the TNT Championship as long as Sky is champion. Which probably means that they're going to do something where one of them is going to cost Sky the championship.
Probably, you can see that coming a mile away. Now here comes a match that we didn't see coming.
Yes, and it was added in between and stuff. And that's Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin.
Again, where did this match come from?
Out of nowhere. Even if that stick belongs in another company.
Let's cut the story short.
Okay, so during this match, Darby Allin went for a suicide drive, only to be countered into a guillotine choke. Ron sport for that.
Yeah.
Then back in the ring, Allin would perform the last supper candle for cradle for the pin. But then in the final moments, O'Reilly managed to hit 3 PK kicks onto Allin and landed a knee drop from the top rope for the victory.
Now we move on to our next match, which was for the AEW Women's World Championship as Thunder Rosa put herself on the line against a very determined Sabrina Deeb.
You mean straight edge, Serena Deeb?
So let's cut this up short. This match is what we expected it to be.
Yes.
Hard-hitting and entertaining.
Rose performed the Death Valley Driver for a near fall.
False finishes everywhere.
Deeb applied the figure 4. Ron, family, Deeb, you do not belong to that family.
No, she doesn't.
Where they both ended up rolling out to the off the ring to the floor, which broke the hold. Then back in the ring, Deeb performed the Senility Lock, which he would then release to put Rose down with a powerbomb. But moments later, Deeb would avoid a charge in Rose, who would then crash into the corner. Deeb would then attempt to climb the ropes, only to be cut off.
By Thunder Rosa.
Who executed a top rope suplex. And then Rosa followed up with the Fire Thunder Driver on Deeb to retain the title. I don't think anyone was really expecting Thunder Rosa to lose this, considering she's still relatively early into her title run.
I mean, we expected it to hold on to the top for at least a longer, much longer.
That was probably not as long as Rebecca did, but
nonetheless, now we head into our Match that can only be described as
chaos.
anarchy, intended.
I think the word you're looking for is chaos.
At the Jericho Appreciation Society of Chris Jericho, Daniel Garcia, Jake Hager, Angelo Parker, and Matt Maynard took on the Blackpool Combat Club of Bryan Danielson, John Moxley, Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz in an Anarchy in the Arena match.
Now, I really don't know how we're going to describe what the hell this thing was.
Brutal, chaotic.
Yes, because everyone was coming from different spots of the arena.
There was at least, 5 referees around? At least referees around.
Here we had a brawl started whilst Moxley's theme song was playing. Then Jericho would smash the soundboard to stop the music from playing.
Yeah.
Then Daniel Garcia performed the power driver onto Ortiz through the steel steps. Jericho would put Moxley into the walls of Jericho, but the table collapsed.
Under the weight.
And, then as Daniel Bryan, slash Bryan Danielson, and Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, were applying the Bell Lock and Bulldog Choke on to Jericho and Jake Hager, respectively. Kingston walked down the ramp with a can of gasoline and poured it on Jericho.
And he was about to set Jericho on fire.
Yes, whilst Danielson, whilst Bryan, of course, took exception to this, and that kind of started a fight between those two. Then Moxley, of course, known for being a lunatic, was the one trying to break those two up from fighting each other. Then we had Bryan hit Jericho with a steel chair and perform the move that has won him several world titles for running knee. Hager would then hit Danielson from behind with a bat, allowing Jericho to perform the words of Jericho. And Hager would, whilst Hager choked the latter with a cable. Now, Bryan Danielson, or Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to call him, it's the same name, just switched around.
It is.
Did not submit, but passed out, which means that the winners of this match by technical submission
For the Jericho Appreciation Society.
After that chaos, they decided to calm things down a little bit by having the triple threat match or three-way tag team match for the AEW Tag Team Championships.
As Jungle Boy Luchasaurus put their titles on the line against Rick Stones and Powerhouse Hobbs team Taz against Keith Lee and Isaiah Swerve Strickland.
Does you mean Swift Scott? Okay, so here Jungle Boy attempted a suicide dive onto Strickland, but Lee would catch him and powerbomb him on the back of Luchasaurus at the time. Luchasaurus, I think, was attempting a Hurricane thing here when he just attempted to go for a double power bomb, a double chokeslam, I should say, on Keith Lee and Hobbs. Only they both grabbed him and slammed him instead. Hobbs would then leap from the ropes and perform a double blockbuster on Lee and Luchasaurus. Moments after that, Starks would pin Jungle Boy using the ropes for leverage until Christian. His name is Christian. We'll have to add the cage at the end of it.
But still, Christian Cage.
Got involved because he was using his feet for leverage. Keith Lee held up Jungle Boy with Strickland to perform the swerve stomp. But then in the end, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus were able to perform the Tonic Express onto Strickland to retain the title.
Now we move on to our next match, which will be
The next match will be the main event.
for the AEW World Championship as Handman Adam Page was top on the line against CM Punk.
Okay, so during this 22 minute, 25-minute back and forth blockbuster, we had Adam Page go for the buckshot lariat for Punk to counter into a sharpshooter again, who managed to touch the ropes to break 3 count. Then we had Punk hitting a roundhouse kick onto Page. Page would then go for the GTS. And managed to hit it for a near fall. As Page would go to the apron and attempt to perform another buckshot lariat on Punk, Punk would catch him and go up for GTS. And in classic main event style, this is where we had a referee bump.
Caught by the legs of, I think it was either CM Punk or Page.
It was Page.
Page's legs hit the referee, knocking him down.
And Page, I think, was kind of playing the heel in this match, not 100% sure.
Because he saw the time in the corner and was tempted to use it as a weapon against CM Punk, but he chose not to.
Well, he picked the title up, but
should I use it? Should I not? But then he took it to the side.
Yes, but that decision is probably ultimately what cost him the match, because this would then result when Page attempted to go for yet another execution of a buckshot Elliott. Only for Punk to catch him and nail the GTS. And getting the 1-2-3, marking a new AEW World Champion and CM Punk's first World Championship win in wrestling in over 10 years.
And it has been 10 years exactly.
So let's quickly go through the results of AEW Double or Nothing one more time. On the buy-in show, Hookhausen defeated the team of Tony Nese and Mark Sterling.
On the main card, Wardlow squashed MJF.
The Hardys defeated the Young Bucks in a tag team match.
Jade Cargill retained her TBS championship against Anna Jay.
In a 6-man tag team match, the House of Black defeated the Death Triangle.
Adam Cole defeated Samoa Joe to win the Men's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament final.
Dr. Britt Baker defeated Ruby Soho to win the Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament final.
American top team defeated Kazarian, Guevara, and Conti.
Kyle O'Reilly defeated Darby Allin.
Thunder Rosa retained her AEW Women's World Championship against Sophie Medina.
Jericho Appreciation Society defeated the Blackpool Combat Club.
Jurassic Express
Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz in a Anarchy in the Arena match.
Then Jurassic Express retained their AEW World Tag Team titles against Keith Lee and Isaiah Swerve Strickland and Team Taz.
And CM Punk proved yet again that he's the best in the world by defeating Hangman Adam Page to become the AEW World Champion.
And that's it for our AEW Double or Nothing post-show.
Now, we do not have long to wait for AEW's next show, technically, because in just a couple of weeks, on June 26, AEW knocks open the forbidden door when they team up with New Japan.
So, he's been
Rachel Jones, and he's been
Sean Smith, and we'll see you soon for our next AEW show.